Hello, good folks. I just wanted to do a brief lyrics breakdown on my rap called Kiss of Death. Now, this is a very short one. This one was actually a concept piece I came up with. See, I wanted to make a really short rhyme, and I wanted it to be about one topic in particular. So I chose to call it Kiss of Death. So what I did was I basically wrote some rhymes and lines about stuff that was having to do with the kiss of death, having to relate to that topic and whatnot. So I'm going to go through the lyrics here. So it starts out with, I'm gonna get writer's block when I'm dead, no other explanation. Okay, pretty simple. Just saying, okay, writer's block, I'm not saying that I'm gonna get it, because when I mention it at first, you say, oh, I'm gonna get writer's block, he is. But then I continue to say, when I'm dead, no other explanation. So, in other words, I will not get writer's block. I'm gonna have the ability to write, for eons beyond today. So, just a little dope, line there, trick the audience. Continuing here. Authorities leaked my scandal. Now it's a fed-drool investigation. So, when I said this line in the actual rap, I say it like fed-drool instead of federal investigation. And the reason I said that is because it's just wordplay, it's not a double meaning, but it sounds close. Fed-drool and federal. And because, what happens is when there's a scandal, okay, then it can become a federal investigation. Okay, easy to figure out. And so what I did was I said authorities leaked my scandal. Now it's a fed-drool investigation. Leaking and drooling are synonymous. So just a dope wordplay punchline I said there. Continuing on here, I said the gap between us speaks for itself like a missing tooth. Okay, so basically, if there's a gap, you think of a missing tooth, for example, and I said speaks for itself. Well, basically, then if you have your teeth shut, but there's a missing tooth, a whole tooth missing, then you're still going to hear sounds coming out of it. So that's how that came about. Excuse me, just a good punchline there. And then I said, my plan is mooch off of my kissing booth. Now, the word mooch, to mooch off of someone, to mooch off of something, means to see something else and try and, get self-gratification, get something out of it for just you and yourself, not for the other party involved. So when I say my plan is mooch off of my kissing booth, okay, that means I'm just going to get, something for myself out of it. I ain't going to, share profits or something. And then it's wordplay, because I also say my plan is mooch. Well, if you say it the right way, you can move the S sound over and hold the S sound on the is before the word mooch, and it can sound like smooch. Obviously, that's wordplay, because smooch is another word for kiss. So just some wordplay there. And then I said, leaders are dumb as drunks on 50 proof. What more to say? Okay, that one's pretty self-explanatory. I'm just saying, well, first of all, everyone knows I hate politicians, so that's one thing. Leaders, you could consider them. They're all stupid. They're all really dumb, and I'm just, reiterating the point that they're as dumb as drunks on 50 proof. So it's, just calling it a spade. They're dumb. Then continuing on here with my favorite line in this rhyme is I said, crooked figures can't even make out on your own, orchestrate. Now, the reason that this line is extremely dope is you take the last word, orchestrate, orchestrate, and it sounds exactly the same as the three words or space kiss space straight. So this is a double meaning, because you can say it as crooked figures can't even make out on your own, orchestrate, which means, okay, to make out on your own. All right, you got to understand that's a saying, and that means to orchestrate. In other words, to make something out of yourself, to be successful, and so on and so forth. So that's what it means to orchestrate and to make out on your own. It's a common saying that means, can you get the business done? and so on and so forth. So basically, I'm saying, make out and kiss, those are words that go together, but I'm also saying, crooked, and then you can't make out on your own because you can't even kiss straight. If we're talking about the other term of make out, which is kissing, okay, and then if you're crooked, then you're not going to be able to kiss straight. And if you're a crooked figure, as in a leader figure, then obviously you can't make out on your own orchestrate because you can't get anything done correctly because you are corrupt. You are, you're off the deep end. Now, in the first part, of course, you say it in two different ways. You say crooked figures, as in, bad politicians, bad leaders. Crooked figures can even make out on your own orchestrate. Or you can say, the way that, as I display it when I rhyme, is I had a little bit of a delay because then I can imply a double meaning, where I said crooked figures can even make out on your own orchestrate. See, figures is also, I'm using it as the more common term, which is, oh, figures that out, and, oh, figures he didn't get it done, figures he didn't do what I asked, or whatever, figures you didn't get that job done on time. So it's a double meaning, just using two different ways of starting that sentence, and it turned out really nicely, and still had to do with my one topic being the kiss of death. Alright, continuing on here. I have the kiss of death, it's a tempting curse. You'll hum a different tune like lipsynkers. Okay, so it's a tempting curse, kissing of death, and if you hum a different tune, that means you'll be completely different. That means, okay, humming a different tune, that's a common saying, but that means that you won't be the same after, is what it means. Okay, so I suffered the kiss of death, and now I'm not the same. That's all it's saying. But it's I made it, a dope simile because I said like lip syncers. Because, okay, if you're lip syncing a song, then you're humming a tune that's not your own, and that's obvious. But I'm just letting, in case people didn't catch that. So having the kiss of death, being changed, which is humming a different tune, but I'm also saying, it's a dope simile because it's like lip syncers, because if you're lip syncing a song that's not yours, like if I was to lip sync some kind of a country or a pop song, obviously that's not my tune. Okay, that's not mine, that's not even my genre. But so if I were to do that, that would be the similarity there. Now continuing on here, I kissed myself to see all the damage that could be done all alone. Okay, so now I'm revealing that I gave myself the kiss of death. Okay? Now the next line here, remember the kiss is sickness. Oh, that's why they say I have a monotone. Proof that I made myself sick. Okay, so this is very dope. Very nice way to end the rhyme. So, now, you gotta say the words at the right speed to acquire its multiple meanings. So, remember the kiss is sickness. Okay, so you got that in quotes. Kisses space sickness. And then, of course, the other way is kiss is sickness. Kiss space is space sickness. So, now, the kisses sickness is a common nickname for mono. Mono is the disease or virus or whatever you call it that you get when you kiss somebody who has mono. I mean, it can be spread other ways, but it's commonly from a kiss. So you get mono, and then when that happens, you lose your voice, you become extremely weak, you sweat profusely, it's hard for you to get out of bed and to do anything and to get anything done. You become extremely weak and overwhelmed and over-fatigued. Okay, so now that's the kiss is sickness. That's a nickname for it. But the way that I say it is, it sounds like I'm saying the kiss is sickness, but it also sounds like I'm saying the kiss is sickness. And that's going again with the whole theme of the kiss of death that I gave myself. And then I said that's why people say I have a monotone. So here's what's dope about this. A mono, which is the disease or virus, tone, okay, because if I have a extremely sore throat and I'm over fatigued and stuff, I'm going to have a tone of somebody who has mono, because right now, obviously, I have my voice and I'm fully capable of talking. But if I had mono, I would not be able to do so. So the tone of my voice would be from a mono perspective, a monotone. It would be a mono-like tone. And I'm also saying the word monotone. Okay, so two different things sound exactly the same. It really is the same. It's just I added a space between them, but it is two different things completely. So monotone is the type of voice that, see, I'm basically making fun of myself. You know, that's one of the things that people would say is one of my weaknesses, is I have a monotone voice. So therefore I'm making fun of myself. I'm having fun with making fun of myself. I'm saying, okay, so that's why they say I have a monotone, which is a diss. I'm saying that's why I have that kind of a voice, or lack of voice, or whatever you want to call it. There's no life in my voice. But I'm saying that it's done because the kiss is sickness, and the kiss of death that I gave myself, giving me the mono space tone or monotone. So basically I'm saying, yeah, I made myself sick, which is the last line, proof I made myself sick. You know, which is just a simple line where it's going with the theme, obviously, of I have the kiss of death. I gave it to myself, made myself sick, and of course sick in hip-hop means, it could mean actually sick as in viral, or, you know, you're obviously in bad health, unhealthy, or it could mean, of course, sick, like those lyrics are sick, which means good, which means great lyrics, which means talented performances, in other words. But yeah, just basically reiterating the point that, I am self-made. I've worked very hard my entire life to become a writer and become a rapper and a performer, and just reiterating the points here that, this was all done by myself. I was self-made, and, I'm just making fun of myself saying I have a mono tone, but then it's also saying, as if I had the disease mono, the kiss is sickness, they call it, the mono space tone of my voice. So, all right, very, very dope. This was only a 30-second rap, but I just wanted to break down the lyrics. Just a nice concept piece. It's nice to do these things once in a while, to go back and to just do, try and, it's fun to challenge yourself to write in different ways, and this is what I did in this particular case, where I wanted to rap about one topic in particular, and something oddly specific, not something like a car or a dog or or like a TV or a clock or something. I wanted to do like something that we've all heard before, but just give my own perspective on it and apply it to myself, which is the kiss of death. We've all heard that saying before. I don't even know where it comes from. I didn't research it or anything. I wanted to put my own spin on it and put my own way of it, and if it happens to relate to the actual origins of the kiss of death mantra, well, then that's impressive. But that was not intended at all. But so anyways, have a great day, everybody. Comment, ask me any questions about my lyrics. You can send me a message anytime. I'll always answer fans or critics. And click like, subscribe, and have a great day.